Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Climbing Youth World Championships here in Voronezh, Russia. It is amazing to be with you today. The temperature, as you can see, 21 degrees and 78% humidity, but that's outside. We are inside this incredible stadium and excited to be looking at two final routes today. We've got Youth B for the men and Youth B for the women. There are routes you can see on the screen in front of us. The yellow and red just to the left of the awning that's covering another finals route, and then the blue and red route to the right-hand side of that awning. My name is Matt Groom, and I'm going to be calling all of the action for you today. And in fact, we have a packed day of climbing. So stick with us all the way from about now, possibly until 9 p.m. at night. And we're going to be bringing you multiple live streams today. So, Youth B. 15 and 16-year-old climbers. Might get the occasional 14-year-old because they have to be in their 15th year. And that is our men's finalists. Rafael Gruber, Finn Altmuller, Dylan Countryman, Hugo Hoyer, Lukasz Morusluski, Timo Uznik, Goraz Irovic, and Sorato Anaruku from Japan. That is our men. And for the women, Anna Michalčíková from the Czech Republic, Mio Nuki from Japan, Jill Couture from Switzerland, Ella Fischer, Naima Gringel, Barbara Bernadova, Mejdi Le Rondel, and Anastasia Sanders. It's early in the morning. I've only had 2 coffees, you see. My tongue isn't working yet, ladies and gentlemen. Don't you worry, though. I will warm up throughout the day. And thank you if you're joining us. I know lots of people are watching from around the world, supporting your home countries, cheering on the athletes, and trust me, they appreciate all the support that you can offer them. So this is an IFSC competition, and I just wanted to say thank you to our Russian host for putting on a pretty special event here. Everyone's been friendly, the city's amazing, the food's incredible. And it's great to be here talking to you guys as we watch the future of our sport compete in front of us, because that's what this is all about, really. We've all watched the Olympics in the last few weeks. We've all seen the golds, silvers, bronze, the heartache, despair and euphoria. And the athletes that we're watching today, well, they could be our future Olympians. So it's worth watching and seeing who is up and coming in our sport. We're a few minutes away. The athletes have already checked out the routes. Been out on stage doing their air climbing bit, trying to find the tricky bits, the possible rests. And trust me, the route setters have set a difficult task for our athletes here today. Power endurance is the name of the game. A few rests on offer. And as the competition progresses, we'll be chatting through all of the tricky sections of these two routes. Now, both the finals are going to go at the same time, so the Youth B female and the Youth B male, they'll be climbing at the same time. We have many, many live streams to get through today. The athletes queuing up, ready to compete. And it is game time for our finalists here. They've been qualifying over the last few days. Hopefully you managed to check out our live stream yesterday. That was the semi-finals. And on Saturday, which feels like a lifetime ago now, well, that was our speed finals for some of the groups. So go back onto the IFSC YouTube channel, check it out, rewatch the finals, and while you're there, hit that subscribe button, get notifications, and you won't miss a minute of the action. So I hope everyone's having a good morning. If you're in Europe, it's 10 a.m. Russian time right now, so 9 a.m. Central European time. And we're building up for a packed schedule, a packed day here in Voronezh. And our first athlete walking out onto stage, that's Rafael Gruber and Anna Michalčíková from the Czech Republic. Women's route on the left-hand side, men's route on the right. It's always an exciting moment. I arrived at the stadium this morning and just got that tingle of excitement, the nerves that come. You can feel the tension today. It's been fairly relaxed over the last couple of days, but now it is truly game time. There are medals on the line. And who's going to walk away with the prestige that comes from winning one of these youth events. There is Anna. She's 15. Been competing solidly this year. 7th is her best result in lead. She throws herself at the start. And there is Rafael Gruber on the right. Some split screen action. Look at that. Thank you, Russian TV, for sorting this out for us, and we can watch all of the action. For the women's route, it starts off with a very physical roof section. Not particularly difficult, but certainly some big moves. You can see Anna just slightly struggling there for a moment, getting herself established on the pinches and crimps. Now she's going to get the second quick draw in and start up the vertical section of this wall. Meanwhile, Rafael, where he launches himself to the right, towards the part of the wall that we were calling flower power yesterday, and I'm sticking with that big red volume feature above his head, shaped like petals on a flower. And that's just not me being silly, that's exactly what the route setters told me, the flower section of the route. And for the men in this final, it does involve a fairly chunky dyno to the right, which we'll get to in a minute. Two clocks on screen, that's the countdown. They have to complete the route by this time. Now check out Rafael's move in a second. He has to drop right into the undercling and then do a huge dyno left bump move coming up now. Let's watch this happen. Sets up for it, launches left, holds the swing nicely. Not overly difficult, but certainly a move that is going to wake these athletes up a little bit if they haven't already. And then that hold allows them to have a brief rest, a shake out. High heels, as you can see. Rafael just taking a moment to pause, while Anna, about a third of the way through the route now. She's got through the first crimpy section, and now things start to kick back a little bit as the overhang increases. You can see the quick draws hanging down from the wall, showing you the degree that that wall's at. And for the women, it's all physicality at this point. Big, thuggy, slopey moves. Not much of a chance to rest. You need to kind of keep going through this section. Rafael cutting loose. Again, resting with the heels. Rafael, 5th in lead in Imst. 15th in his last comp. Let's see what he can do. Getting support from the crowd now as he goes out to the right. Meanwhile, Anna bumping and just missing the side pull to the left on the tricky section there. She looked a little bit disappointed by that. But time will tell what kind of a score she's going to get. 8 athletes competing in this final. Oh, look at that. We've got Rafael's position on the wall at the moment. Rafael. Oh, we lose Rafael with a big swing down as he popped up into the dish feature. So that should give you an idea of what we're facing today. 2 tricky routes. I've got to say, very impressed with the route setters so far. They've had a huge task in front of them for this week. Multiple routes, multiple categories. I never think they get quite the recognition they deserve, because they are some of the hardest working people in the building. And they have created some masterpieces for us today. Mio Nagui comes onto the stage for the women. She'll take a moment just to prepare herself. Just having a look at the routes. She's out on stage. Rafael leaves. Mio starts. Mio very new to IFSC climbing. She's so new, in fact, that she's literally not in the system. So I talked about up-and-coming stars. Already made a final in what could be her first competition. Fairly impressive. Slightly awkward clip this. There's a few places to clip. Obviously you want to get it in before you launch through the roof, just in case. Climbing well at the moment, needs to go up into the crimp and then launches to the big crimp, to the big pinch. And you can see there, Anna's score 27 plus. Finn Altmuller joins us on stage from Germany. Again, just taking a moment to refamiliarize himself with the route. The athletes had their observation time a few minutes before our stream started here today. Finn is a decorated athlete, especially in 2021. A bunch of medals for him, mainly silver, as we watch Mio cruise her way through this crimpy section of the route, getting the quick draws in. And Finn launches himself up. Multiple silver and bronze medals for Finn. 3 this year alone and 1 bronze. So he'll be looking to add to his collection on this lead route. Qualified in 2nd place. The athletes coming out in the opposite order from where they qualified. So the athletes we see first will have qualified last from the semi-finals. And the athletes out last, they'll be in 1st position. So Finn, 2nd to last in terms of qualification for this. Mio into the thuggy section of this route. You've got to keep moving through it. There isn't really an opportunity to rest. And the problem is the second you finish this part, you then enter the crux of the women's route. Yet to see that, but exciting to see what the athletes do in that part. Finn now on smooth pinches. You can see the sections chalked up by the route setters, but there's really not a lot to go on those. And this is the big dyno left, sticks it. High heel above his head. Oh, he's going for almost bat hanging here. A bat hang. I like that. Deciding now to drop a foot down, just using the edge of the wall there. Tiny little crimp for his left foot. And this is pretty much the only section for all the athletes to rest on the men's route. From now on, it's pure power endurance. Meanwhile, Mio comes into what is by far the hardest section for this women's route. As you can see, it looks completely blank from that camera angle, but underneath all those yellow volumes, there are little screw-ons, side pulls, crimps. If I was climbing that, I think I'd immediately get lost. Just trying to piece it together through here and work out the clips, of course, because you have to go far to the right and then back to the left again. Finn pauses a little bit. Now makes the big bump up to the volume. Again, locks in the heel. And Mio underclings all the way here, biceps burning as she makes her way towards the enormous volume feature you can see above your head, which when I saw that, I immediately thought if I was an athlete, I'd go and sit on that, but apparently it's not possible. But any athlete sitting on it will win true style points from me. Finn battling hard now, goes up into the pinches. He's nearing the head wall of this route, putting in a great performance, the second athlete out for the men. Slightly awkward clip, but you can see dropping back down to that pinch, almost lost it. And this is the dish where we lost Raphael. But Finn making quick work of this, cutting loose, almost losing it, somehow pulling it back as we watch Mio on the giant rest out to the left. A rest described by the route setters as awkward and uncomfortable, which, to be honest, doesn't really sound like a rest to me, but Mio making the most of it. She's horizontal, high above our stadium floor here. Finn nearing the top. Could we see our first top of this morning's entertainment? Rocking up on that heel, palming off the blue volume. No purchase on that, and he's... Yeah, we're going to lose Finn, but good performance from him. Jan Vert there taking photos. Do go and check them out on the IFSC Instagram channel. He's got some absolute bangers out. There, she's sitting on it. Thank you. I told you, route setters. What did I say? I said I'd sit on it. They looked at me like I was crazy. Style points. She looks down at the clock, 48 seconds, plenty of time. She's got a crimpy section to go. Up she goes into the triangular volumes. Now you will notice there appears to be a lack of feet on this next section. All deliberate from the route setters. You have to really get your body weight to the left. Yeah, body weight to the right, feet to the left. I do know my left. Oh, we lose Mio. Someone needs to send me a left and right specialist, apparently. Mio comes down. Great performance from her. Bows to the crowd. Very quiet, composed athlete. Gets out there, does her thing. All right, we immediately move forward. This final moving at a pace and exciting so far. Team USA's Dylan Countryman comes out onto the stage. Checks out the route, walks purposefully towards it. He'll be excited to be competing here today. Finn climbs towards the corner now. Again, Finn, a very new athlete to the IFSC scene. Fairly unknown at the moment, so for him to make finals, fantastic performance for him. Let's see what he can do with this tricky men's route. Jill Couture has just come on stage for the women as well. We stick with Finn as he enters the corner, making early clips, and now it's the meat of the route. And there is Jill Couture. She's 15. A silver medal in her last competition. Back in Bulgaria in July, so she'll be in the medal winning ways as we watch Finn about to enter the dyno section of this route. And really bad pinches here just to get you nice and exhausted, forearms pumped before you got to launch left. And see, Finn gets this clip in before. A lot of the other athletes weren't, and it's definitely a harder clip, but for sure it makes this move a little less intimidating. And then, of course, he can rest without worrying about clipping. So interesting. New change of beta from him. See how warm Jill's fingers are as she enters the crimpy section of this route. Up to the left. Get your feet sorted. And then a little bump to the left. Shouldn't be too tricky for the women. The route setters thought we might lose a few on this next part, the red section of the route. But in this part, it's just to test the athletes, not to trick them. Dylan keeping his feet on the wall compared to Finn, who was swinging around, cutting loose on that section. Out with the right. Slightly awkward clip there. He's far, far to the right, and the clip hanging away to the left. Makes it work, though. And he continues. Now cuts loose. We'll have a moment here to rest a little bit. Very awkward clip as he pulls the rope through and under and up into the dishes. Let's see what he's got left at this stage. And we lose Jill Couture just before the start of the red slopey section. Bit of a shocker for her in that moment. Not shocking climbing, but I think she was shocked by the fall, didn't expect it. She moves up into second place. So Dylan moves up into second place. This is where we lost Finn. Dylan doing well now. Needs to keep it together. Crimps to come. Oh, and just fumbles that right hand. Looks like he was going for the side pull and just had a moment. Head in his hands for him. Be able to see some replays in a second of that, I'm sure. Dylan will leave us. Ella Fisher is announced to the crowd. Second American athlete climbing in this final. Another new athlete to us. In fact, both climbers about to come out, starting off their competition careers. We stick with Jill as she gets through the roof, deciding to go high before making that first clip. Locks in the heels and cruising through this initial little lip. Hugo Hoyer comes out, climbing next to his teammate. What a moment for that young man as he looks out at the crowd supporting him. The American team have been good on the support. They've got placards in the audience. They're making sure they're at every comp where their athletes are represented. So by now we know what we're facing. The men's route should be fairly easy, climbable at least, up until that final headwall section where the real crux comes in. And for the women, well, we've lost people in lots of different sections on this so far, but Mio from Japan currently leading the way, almost topping out earlier on this morning. Straight arms resting before Ella there. Resting well before she launches into the physical part, and this is where we lost Jill a couple of moments ago. Finn just... Sorry, Hugo just doing up his shoes there, came loose as he went up. We've all been there, haven't we? I know I have. Usually when I run out on some kind of a trad thing, I notice my Velcro's come undone, but Hugo's slightly more pressurised in this finals environment. Ella resting with the heels now. She's about to enter the crux of her route. Hugo makes the dyno look fairly straightforward, gets the right heel up. Ah, and we lose Ella in the middle part of that thuggy red section. Hugo still with us. Little cut loose coming up, a little pop up. Keeps his feet on nicely though. Up with the heel. Dylan Countryman currently leading the way with 36. If you're new to sport climbing, and I'll go through some of the rules, and if you're not new to sport climbing, bear with me. We've got lots of new climbers, but every hold is numbered. A top is the best, but if no tops are had, then each hold counts as a point, and the highest points will win. Hugo into the red pinches, and you can see from that great angle, no real purchase on it. It's a slopey hold, a little tiny edge maybe. Certainly no screw-ons to give the athletes a break. It's Neymar Gringel from Austria. Has a look over to the clock. Neymar, solid set of results. Recently 11th, 9th and 5th in her last lead competitions. So she'll be looking to convert that into podium places. Hugo, though, into the crimps. First time we've seen this, he might be moving into the lead here, up to the tiny, tiny crimps, and suddenly the holds seem to peter out as he teeters his way up, fingertips locking onto those small edges. And you can see right at the limit of his reach, and finally comes down to the ground with 2 minutes to go on the clock for Hugo. Fairly sure that's lead for him at the moment. Neymar now pausing, hesitating a little bit with this little left bump, steadying her nerves. You can see currently sitting in 5th place in that graphic to the left-hand side. Out to the pinches, to the underclings, and then this pinchy section. You can see the tick marks provided by the route setters just to give the athletes a clue of the best places to hold those holds. But we know how dangerous this section is for the athletes. A lot of body tension required, and the second you release that, the second you relax, that's when we're losing people. Łukasz enters the stage. Łukasz Mokorowski. He's 13, one of our younger athletes. In his 14th year, that's why he can compete in this group. Łukasz Mokorowski from the Czech Republic. Into the corner, laybacking this as we watch Neymar now. She's almost at the end of this section, but this is where we've lost a few. This bump to the left, she makes it work, pinches, and then another bump out to the side pull, in control. And a second here just to pause on the underclings. But she's not clipped. Deciding to clip slightly higher up. Łukasz having to use body momentum in order to reach out left. Neymar, 2 minutes 50 on the clock. Looks like she's having to fight now every hold, a bit of a battle. She makes her way to the right, looks at the clip. She's close to this rest though. Big cut loose move, and now she should have the opportunity to get her feet up to the left and just pause for a moment in this rest, which is uncomfortable, but it's enough. Łukasz with the jump, he decides not to clip, goes with the left, holds the swing, sticks the right heel up, gets the clip in, and he'll pause for a second. So both of our athletes resting. Will Neymar choose the seat method? She's trying to, isn't she? Rocking up and just misses the crimp. Couldn't get enough back on that rest, which is a little bit of a brutal rest, it has to be said. Łukasz with the high left foot resting. 3 minutes 52 on the clock. Time not proving to be a factor in these final routes, which I always think is a good thing. I never like seeing athletes timed out. But of course, if I didn't have a time limit, we'd be here forever, wouldn't we? Time limit definitely needed, especially with today's schedule, and it is packed. 2 sets of finals and semi-finals, and probably more. I can't even remember. Lots of climbing for you guys to get your teeth into back at home. Łukasz, a little bit slower than the other athletes, taking his time. Up into the pinches. Barbara Benedova from the Czech Republic. She enters the fray. MC shouting out for the Czech Republic to scream at their athletes, and we lose Łukasz finally. 2 minutes 20 to go for him. It's not going to be enough for a podium. As we watch Barbara come through the roof. Athletes just climbing quickly through that bottom section. It's not difficult. Opportunity to warm up, settle in, and Barbara, no stranger to the podium. In the last 4 competitions, she's won 4 golds, 1 Boulder and 3 leads, so strong, strong competitor. Open hand crimp on that. Fingers locked into position. Even at this young age for these athletes, training, competing, traveling, the athlete's life starts early. And a lot of these athletes will be looking to move forward. Timo Uznik walks out on stage with a smile on his face. Enjoying his moment in the spotlight. If you missed the beginning of our stream, we are in Russia for the Youth World Championships. This is the lead finals for the Youth B men and Youth B women. About halfway through, well, 3/4 way through this competition now. This finals. Yonakui leading the way for the women at the moment. Watch Barbara Beradova coming through the physical part of the route. She's got some tricky clips and tricky moves to make here. We've lost a few in this section. Can't relax, body tension all the way through. Timo Uznik taking his time through the bottom. He's another athlete, a gold medal in Perm this year, and a bronze more recently in Imst. Makes the clip, he'll know what's coming. He's seen the jump from the bottom in the flower power section. Out to the big pinches. Will he make this clip early on, or will he decide to jump with no clip in? Swings right, nails the side pull undercling. Looks at the clip, he's going to jump for it. Over he goes, matches with the right heel up, makes the clip. And Barbara, meanwhile, she's going to enter the crux of the women's route. 2 minutes 37 on the clock for her. Athletes starting at different times, that's why the clock is showing different times. Each athlete's having 6 minutes in order to climb these routes. Austria and Czech Republic climbing together at the moment. Barbara bumping right, physical moves here. Strange sort of downward traverse in this part of the route. Almost looks like she's trying to knee bar that section. It's a little far. Out into the side pulls. The rest beckoning above her head. Timo makes the swing out right, holds it, uses his core, and now that heel rest. He's going to have to flick that heel. Oh, no, he doesn't. Makes the clip between his legs. Starting to snatch Timo a little bit. Perhaps getting a little bit fatigued halfway through. Barbara up into the rest, cuts loose, feet out. And she'll be pulling her way up, that knee scrubbing against the wall. Head down towards the audience. What a position to be in with the crowd screaming her name down below. Timo as well. Ever upwards for him as he cuts loose on the dishes. Out to the right, gets another heel in. I thought he was in trouble a couple of clips ago, but somehow he's carried on, but we lose Barbara. Head in hands for her. And we lose Timo. Two in quick succession, then Barbara looks at what could have been the top, so close. So 2 men and 2 women to go in this final here today. No tops so far. Mej Le Rondel comes out onto the stage. I actually spent some time with Mej in Briançon. She was trying a savage 8A plus boulder. Crimp so small I could barely see them. I think I did one move of it. So she has some serious pedigree as she checks out her route. Voronezh Irovic from Slovenia. Second to last male athlete out onto our stage. Voronezh, a host of gold medals recently. Gold in Belgium, gold in Switzerland. Will he add a triple gold to his last few comps? Mej standing up nice and straight as she enters the crimpy part of this route. Looking good so far. Strong Team France presence here in Russia. Voronezh looking very good so far. Real professional style of climbing, just solid, speedy. He's slightly awkward in this moment. He's a little bit taller than some of the other athletes, and it is a bit of a compression move for him. Makes it static though. Now he'll be looking to fly over to the left, launch himself with the left hand. Sets it, gets it. Heel in, rest and clip. And Mej using this slightly awkward stretched out rest there. A lot of the athletes just taking a moment to chalk up and shake out in that before continuing upwards. Mej into the crux now, looking very good at the moment. She's certainly one who could be standing on our podium in a few minutes' time. Voronezh makes the clip, looks upwards, pinches in, locks in a heel and now comes into the underclings. Decides better of it. I think he's going to cross the undercling underneath. Fascinating watching the different styles on display here this morning. Mej looking for a sideways knee bar then, didn't quite have the length to do that. Voronezh is climbing like a machine, hardly any moments to rest for him as he crushes this route, it has to be said. Out to the right. It's going to look for heels on that red dish shape. Mej gets in this awkward little rest, makes the clip. Will she drop down a little bit? Ah, we lose Voronezh going up into the crimps, and that reaction from him is what a lot of the athletes have done. It's one of those routes that's frustrating, I think. And Mej awkwardly now into this big red volume. We saw Mio sitting on it earlier. Mej deciding to frog squat down. She's one clip away now. One clip, some crimps, no feet away from topping out this route. Will she be climbing herself now in second place, currently 43. She's aiming for 45 plus. This is where gold, silver, bronze will be decided. This part with no feet. Has she got enough in her arms? Will her fingers crimp? Feet to the left, body weight to the right, bumps over with the left and moves into first position. How is she still crimping? Looks at the side pull, gets it. One move to go. It's a huge slap up to that volume. Makes the jump, almost sticks it with the left, comes down just below the top. What a performance from Maggie Shulk. I was expecting something good from her. She was so strong in the semi-finals, and that exceeded my expectations. How she could crimp still, I do not know. I'm watching a reverse here. This is amazing. We have no control over this, but she did not down climb the entire. There we go. Sped up. Maybe the athlete should start at the top and go down. Who knows? Sorato and Aruku from Japan. Final athlete coming out. He qualified in first position for this final. Oh, that made me laugh. It took me ages to work out what was going on there. I was watching that. Sorato, part of a big Japanese team that's come over. The coaches, so experienced. They've led Miho Nanaka and Akio Noguchi into medal positions during the Olympics. So such an experienced team to bring on these youth climbers, the next generation. Both the athletes out on stage. Anastasia Sanders on the left, Sorato and Ruku on the right. Again, very new to competition climbing. No competitions in our system so far, so it's a fresh look. Two athletes qualifying in the #1 position for this finals. Sorato, he was so flowy during the semi-finals, effortless. That's a characteristic of the Japanese team. And with 4 minutes 20 to go on the clock, he just looks down, checking where he's at. He knows he can rest here. Anastasia has a big task in front of her. This women's route, complex and difficult. Sorato goes out right, keeps his feet on the wall. A lot of static power required for that as he gets the heel in and rocks up. Loving the MC. I don't know if you guys can hear that back at home, but she's imploring everyone to cheer louder. I would if I could. I'll deafen everyone at home if I cheer. Sorato climbing well at the moment and quickly, 3 minutes 18 on the clock, and he's crushing this thing up into the dishes in a minute. Takes a moment to shake out on the pinches. Hello, future star. Sorato is on fire on the right-hand side. Anastasia on the left crosses through into this awkward little rest, but you can see a little bit taller, a little less stretched out on this rest, and makes it certainly look a little easier. Loving a chalk bag there as well. Why don't senior athletes use chalk bags like that? They should do. Sorato Aruku is making this look very straightforward as he enters this final part of the route up into the crimps. If he maintains this, it's going to be one of the most impressive finals I've ever seen. Reaching up, crimp at a time. Up with the left, he's going to have to make a fairly awkward clip here, looking for the right foot. Now starting to struggle, up with the right, and we lose him high on the wall. Will that be enough for the win? Scores will be confirmed in a second for him as we now focus all of our attention on Anastasia. And we did, that is confirmed. Sorato moving into the gold medal position with 40 plus. He will walk away with the gold. What a performance from him. So Anastasia, it's all down to you now. Everyone is watching. They're currently in 5th position. 33. Maggie Shulk leading the way, 49 plus, almost topped out. Anastasia, big launch up and then makes the clip down and below her hips. High feet in order to rest, and it is so awkward this, isn't it? She rocks up now, pushing, shoulder muscles burning. Drops back down. It's one of those rests that just isn't quite what you'd hope it to be. Unless you sit on it. Now getting all limbs on that big red volume. It's fairly positive, but it does slope away, curve down towards the ground. Have to get right over the back of it. Shaking out, checking the time. 1 minute 34 on the clock. Once she gets going from here, she's going to have to move. Big move up to the crimp. Fingers screaming in protest into the underclings. 1 minute 10 on the clock. It's going to be enough time. It should be. She really needs a top in order to walk away with this gold. Out to the right, toes pressing, matches this crimp. And this is it, the sting in the tail of this women's route. Little foot swap and a bunch out to the side pull. She's one move away from gold. Anastasia slaps up, gets it for Team USA. If she makes the clip, she will walk away with the gold, but she does. What a performance from her, pushing Maggie down into silver position. She needed a top. She did the business. Fantastic to see. A little smile and wave to the crowd. I have a feeling she had more in the tank then, you know. Screen laid down, facing up towards the athlete so they can see it from the top. Goes to thank her belay, lovely to see. Oh, there we go, 10:43 and a gold medal in her pocket. Fantastic performance from her. Let's look at the confirmation. Sorato and Ruku in first place, Hugo Hoyer and Dylan Countryman making out the last bit of the podium there. Sorato, what a strong climb from him with that gold medal. And for the women, well, we just watched Anastasia climb her way to gold. The men getting their medals down low. There they are, Sorato in first position. Hugo Hoyer in second, Dylan Countryman in third with the bronze. And for the women, there she is. Anastasia Sanders in first. Mio Nuki in third. And Maggie Shulk will pick up the silver medal. What a start to the morning. Loved that. Fantastic performances from all the athletes. Fist bumps all round. So there are our results. At 11:30, we're watching the Boulder finals for the Youth A. So in about 45 minutes, we'll be back in action. Switching from lead to bouldering. Never an opportunity to get bored, is there, during this Youth World Championships? As we take one final look at our lead wall. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I will be back with you at 11:30 Russian time for the bouldering finals. So take this moment, we'll keep the stream going, show you some pictures, show you some replays, and then we'll return in about, well, 40 minutes now for some more bouldering action. My name's been Matt Groom. You're watching the IFSC Youth World Championships. Medals already in the bank. Let's get some more in. I'll see you guys very, very soon. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Youth A Male Boulder Final. The athletes just taking a moment to get announced onto the stage, look at the routes, and work it out. And I've just been down there on the mats talking to the route setters about the challenges that these athletes have to face here today. There are our finalists: Emile Zimmerman, Hannes van Dijssen, Torben Perryblom, Isaac Leff, Edvards Gruzits, and Maggie Shulk. Athletes representing Germany, Belgium, Germany again, USA, Latvia and France out on the mat. That's M1 we're looking at. Bit of a launch start. You can see Isaac Leff there was holding it. That's Edvards Gruvitz having a little look. So you have to launch right in a sort of coordination dyno. There's a couple of ways of doing this coordination dyno move. And then mantle up to glory on the final hold. 4 men's boulders. 6 athletes, just 3 podium places. Hugh will be walking away with the gold medal. If you're just joining us, welcome to Voronezh, Russia for the Youth World Championships. This morning we had the finals for the lead, the B category for the lead, men and women's. Our gold medalists were crowned, so once this stream is finished, make sure you go back to the beginning if you've missed it and find out all the lead action. That is Hannes van Dijssen. Athletes just moving around now. This is their opportunity to work out the beta, check the different holds. And that slab they're all looking at now has one of the most vicious footholds I've ever seen in a bouldering competition. That's no exaggeration. The route setters have really got overboard with this one. And I'm talking about that little nubbin you can see above the second blue upside down dish thing. It has literally 1 point of friction on it. But we'll be talking about that more as we progress through this competition. The athletes get 2 minutes on each boulder in order to check it out. You can see the timer ticking along down the bottom. It's their opportunity to try to piece together some of the beta on offer here today. You can see there Isaac Leff on the right-hand side, one of the standout performers from the semi-finals. He's qualified in 3rd position. And Maggie Shulk from Team France, number 45. Well, he's a regular in senior competitions, and we're probably the favourite in this finals to walk away with the gold, but of course anything can happen. Edvards Gruzits is the other firm favourite in 2nd position into this final. Again, a regular on the senior circuit. He's the very tall looking gentleman at the back, in the blue shorts. Strong performance from him in the semi-finals that took place yesterday in our marathon stream. I hope you enjoyed that. It's just me here today commenting. My name is Matt Groom. I haven't got a co-commentator for this. We're set up for just me here in Russia, so you get to hear my dulcet tones throughout the day. I'll do some ASMR towards the end of today. But it has been an exciting start to our morning with the lead finals. M3 is a very, very physical boulder. It requires a static dyno. Route setter's description. I'll explain more, but it's all about that first move. If you want to see a static, dynamic kind of move, then, well, wait and see. I appreciate that you can't dynamically do a static move, but it's a bit of both in there. 30 seconds to go for the athletes. So boulder 4, this is certainly the most physical boulder on offer. Very, very burly. Starts off on that slope, you can see with the start button on it, right at the tiptoes. You've got to get your feet up to the left, and then, well, the thuggery continues all the way up it. Athletes looking at these couple of moves. There's a heel toe cam in there somewhere underneath the red volume. And the hold that, as a climber, terrifies me is that zone hold, the blue. I mean, I don't know how to describe it. It's not really a hold. It's almost entirely flat on the wall with a slight hint of a dish on it. Hint of a dish. I'm just naming holds at the moment. But yeah, bad hold, and you have to slap way out left on that. "30 seconds away, and then we will begin this final. Emile Zimmerman, he'll be out first. "12 seconds away. Oh, the excitement builds, the tension builds. My hands get sweaty. My voice gets louder. Right, here we go. The athletes are ushered off, herded by the IFSC official, which is one of my favourite moments in any competition. Who'd want that job? Athletes leave the stage. It empties out. The judges step forward. Their moment is come. Brush is ready. Clock ready. We're ready. Are you guys ready at home? Have you got a favourite? And that is our 6 finalists. Emile Zimmerman, Hannes van Dijssen, Torben Periblom, Isaac Left, Edvards Grusitis and Maggie Shulk. And they'll be coming out in that order. So Emile qualified last into this final. Maggie in first place. He'll climb last. The boulder wall is situated at the back of this arena. We've been watching the lead earlier this morning that's in front of our commentary box. The bouldering is behind us. And in the middle, well, it's a bit like a festival atmosphere, as my colleague mentioned the other day. There's T-shirts for sale, there's climbing competitions, there's a coffee machine. It's all go. And the Russian organisers here doing a fantastic job of making everyone feel welcome and allow the athletes the best opportunity to show off how good they really are. That is the slabby problem with the offending hold I was chatting about earlier. That tiny little black thing looks good from here, but it's only got one bit of friction on it. The rest is all dual textured. Minutes away here, you can see the clock counting down. I think that's the time until the start. It's about 3.5 minutes, and I'll be back with you. Right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. A minute 47 seconds to go. Apologies about the slightly bumpy camera angle. That will change when we get started. That camera is on the stage with us on the commentary box, and it's part of the whole roster for everyone sitting. So every time someone sits or walks up, it does do a little bounce. So if you're feeling a bit seasick, then I mean, I don't know. Move to the front of the car. Open the window. But that will go away at some point. Lucky I'm here, right, giving this useful advice to you back at home. I'm watching the camera operator try to get rid of the wobble right now, and he's doing some delicate work over there, but he can't battle against gravity. Here we go, 59 seconds before our final. Men's 1 right in the middle. If you're new to bouldering competitions, well, it's similar to a lead. You've got to start at the bottom and get to the top. But on the way, there's something called a zone hold, and that's indicated by a circle with the word zone written in it. Oh, he's punched in. Look at that. That's a little better, isn't it? That's men's 4. And that is the zone hold I was talking about there, the little zone, the orange sticker. Now, you have to use that zone, and the main definition for how you get the points for a zone is that you have to have a controlled, stable position on it. And again, it's a very complicated definition. There's 5 points, in fact, about how you get a zone. I'll go through that if it needs be, but the scoring system is worked out by tops. So finishing the boulder, both hands on top controlled, zones, attempts to top and attempts to zones. Right, 4 minutes on the clock. Emile Zimmerman will be out first. There he is. He's been competing since 2018 for the IFSC. David Zimmerman is 17, 178 centimetres tall. And he's got this big swing start, kicking his legs back, jumping down and not quite making that slap on his first attempt. Pulling back on again. Really is quite a swing, this, and if you ever try one of these moves in a gym before, you'll know just how much core is required in order to get your body moving in that direction. Emile Zimmerman, his last, he hasn't actually done a bouldering competition for a while. Last couple have been lead for him, but in his last bouldering competition in Graz in Austria, he was 12th. Hasn't actually made a youth bouldering final, so this is his first representation for us. And currently struggling with his little coordination dyno moves. You can see he closes his eyes, takes a moment. Steadies himself, the nerves, I would imagine, in full force right now, the first athlete out. Almost makes it stick that time. There's a numerous different ways of doing this. You can use that beater, try to hold the slope with two hands. You can double it outright. You can catch it. There are different methods. If you are hearing beeping in the background, by the way, that is our route setters just sorting out the lead routes. Hopefully you're not picking that up, but hard for me to tell. Scoring is down the bottom left on his name card there. Those boxes you can see will get filled up if he climbs, and he has managed to stick the move this time, and he will get the zone. And now it's a big mantle up to the final hold, and really all of your body is required to do this move. You can see inching his way up. It's very slopey, that grey volume. He drills his left foot in. He needs to bring that right toe into action. Into the top, needs to match it, so both hands on it in a controlled manner, which he does, gets the cheer. First top for Emile Zimmerman. That will have improved his confidence there as he grabs his mask, gets his chalk, and he will exit the stage. And you can see the volunteers just brushing the holds in between rounds. The athletes will do it themselves during the 4 minutes. Let's watch a replay of that. Look at this final moment. Left hand up, pressing. Just using the little line on the top of the hold in order to crimp it, lock his shoulders back. Lays his towel down on the ground. His turn to swing around, see what he can do. Flashing a boulder, climbing it first time is better. You get a better score for that. And generally you want as few attempts as possible on each boulder. And we all know probably the most famous example of someone who's excellent at flashing it is Slovenian Janja Garnbret, who won that gold. She is a master, a mistress at flashing. Hannes now swinging, bumps out right. 3 minutes 13 on the clock out of the 4. Have to complete the boulder within that time. And it's been competing since 2018. He's 16. To youth A, 16 and 17 years old athletes, sometime in their 15th year. Hannes won bronze in his last boulder competition, the Continental Youth Cup in Graz. World champs, of course, always a step up, certainly in terms of pressure. Hannes just cleaning the holds now, making sure they're ready for him. 2 minutes, and as we know from this boulder, once you unlock this coordination move, this dyno to the right, the boulder should pretty much be done. The swing, the launch, the catch, and that's the other method of doing it, the undercling catch. We saw the match from Emile. Hannes gets the catch, and now he's pressing his way up. Rocking up, pushing ever closer, left hand out. palming into that final hold. Right-hand match, good job from Hannes. 2 tops, 2 athletes so far. Steady start to this competition. That was his final moments, pumping his fist. Job done. He probably will have known that Emile, from the cheers of the crowd, they can't see the athletes, what the other athletes are doing. They're kept behind the wall in an isolation area, but you can certainly hear, and you know, usually you know when an athlete tops out, so almost every time someone else comes out, the pressure ramps up. Torben Perry Blom from Team Germany, he enters, holding his brush ready, trying to get every last second out of those 4 minutes. He's 16. "20 seconds gone, just takes a moment to get this boulder ready." The route setters did give it a bit of a brush, but it's the athletes will always want to do it themselves as well, just to make sure. Torben's done a lot of speed comps recently. In fact, he won bronze in a speed comp, so we know he's got some power in those legs. 11th in his last bouldering competition. Best result, 4th. But in 2019, he did walk away with a gold medal, so let's see what he can do here. I just missed the snatch there slightly. This first go is so difficult. I mean, to flash a boulder like this is hard because it's all muscle memory at this point. You have to remember the moves, the momentum, the speed you need into it. There's a lot of factors going on. He just reaches up there to touch his foot. You can see there's 3 blue lines on that first hold, so 3 limbs need to be on. That's Torben. Now he's started to work it out. That's it. Beater locked in. He goes for the catch method underneath. So, he knows what he's doing. He knows it's going to work. Now it's just a case of putting it all together, and he's got 2.5 minutes to do it. Plenty of time. Interestingly, changes his beater. He looks so close to that catch out right. Okay, so now he's got 2 methods. Which will he use for this 3rd attempt? He's got to pick one soon. 2 minutes on the clock. Goes for the match again. I think he looked closer with that undercling, you know. Swinging, adjusting his hands, almost trying it statically. Another approach from him. Torben is throwing everything at this boulder, but now is the time where he needs to step back and choose a method. But he's got 3 at his disposal. He looked close on that static way of doing it, or more static way of doing it. Nails it this time, reaches through, much better from Torben. He's worked it out. 1 minute 15 to go, up into the slopers. Has he got enough for this rock over move? Pressing, pressing. Suddenly the lats, the shoulders, the triceps come into play. Almost sitting on that grey volume, catches it, brings the heel up, steadies himself, and that will be a top for Torben Perry Blom. Fascinating boulder, this one, isn't it? I like his little bag there. I want one of them. That's the final move, heel up pressing. Looked pretty steady, didn't he? Holds it long enough to make sure the judges know that you're in control. A couple of seconds to go before we're going to see Edvards Grusic come out. I'm sorry, it's Isaac Leff out next. Apologies. I misread the, the form in front of me. So Isaac Leff quickly became one of my favourite athletes from yesterday's semi-finals. He's just got an exciting style to watch and so strong. He's fairly new to the scene, only really competing in 2019. Obviously that Corona year put paid to everything, but he won the Pan American Youth Championships in 2019. Let's another look at that hold. It is awkward. You can't really see it when you're swinging in. You have to just know where it is. So, second attempt, swinging in. Again, just can't quite see it round the corner. One of those moves that if you're outdoors, you put a ginormous tick mark on that thing, but... And of course, brush it off afterwards. Respect the rock, people. Launches, misses again. He's just not quite getting this. Team USA, as I said earlier, huge presence in this stadium. Everyone's supporting. They've got placards. Interesting swinging technique there. Almost loses it. Brings the hand back on. Pops, and again, just can't find it. He just needs to go a little bit further to the right on this. Checks the clock, 2 minutes 16. And the problem is, at this point, he still hasn't got to the coordination bit. And we know there's at least 3 different ways of doing this. Time could be a factor for Isaac. Again, fumbling that hold. You get the feeling once he locks it in, it's all going to be good, but little smile as the time clock ticks down. 1 minute 40. Getting frustrated now, can't quite work out what's going wrong with this. Every time he thinks he's got it, the hold seems to disappear in front of his eyes. Finally gets it and goes for the coordination move, but now he's got a minute to work this out. He's going to have to find a beat to quickly stick with it. 50 seconds for Isaac. 3 athletes out of the 4 have so far topped this boulder. Big move out left, immediately comes back on. He knows he's got 30 seconds, and that press takes about 15 seconds, so he needs to nail it in the next 2 goes here, really. A miss for Isaac, 20 seconds. Hasn't got the zone either, remember that's that grey hold up top. This will put pressure on the rest of his competition if he can't make this. Again the miss, and Isaac is going to run out of time here. He comes back on anyway, why not? 5 seconds to go. Go on, Isaac. No go for Isaac Leff. Next up will be Edvards Grusitis from Latvia. Here he comes out onto the stage. He came 29th in speed the other day. And senior competitions all throughout this season. Innsbruck, he was 27th in the bouldering senior competition. But his last medal was 2nd in the Continental Youth Championships in Perm. And his third in Arco. Third in Arco 2019 for Boulder. Right, swinging out, using those long legs of his to build the momentum, and now finds the hold into the undercling method on this one. Piecing it together, this game of physical chess that is bouldering. Ah, look at that core strength there, just holds the move mid-air, statics out, and now Campus is up. Got to keep it together. Heel struggling a little bit now. The problem is suddenly it becomes, when you're a bit taller like he is, this kind of a move is tricky. You've got to really uncurl your body underneath, and he is struggling with it. He's got a lot of length to stand up on it. And you can see battling. He'll have the zone hold. We know 3 athletes have topped so far. Isaac will go back down, have a moment of rest here, and this is going to be very awkward for him. It's going to have to be a huge right-hand lock-off in order to get up there. He's using the black volume, stands up now and dynamically goes for it. 2:06 on the clock. I think Edvards needs to just rest here because that move takes up so much physicality, that rock-up, especially for him. Height is one of those things in climbing where we talk about it. It shouldn't really be a factor. That we all know it doesn't really matter what height you are. You can get these boulders done. But there are some boulder problems and some moves that are trickier if you're shorter or taller. And this pressy rock-up move is a little bit harder if you're taller. There's not a disadvantage to him, but it's just something he has to work out. Edvards makes the dyno look easy this time. He's got that locked in, but now this is his crux. He's got a minute left. Pressing, pressing, hating life. Down he goes. Edvards will rest. Fairly sure right until the last second he can here. That move is taking a lot out of him. 30 seconds on the clock. We know he's got the dyno. I think he's burning out here. 17 seconds to go. I think he knows that that final move is too much, and he will exit the stage with a zone. I'll move him into 4th. So our stage is cleaned, waiting for the next athlete. We're on Boulder 1 of 4. 6 athletes made it through to this stage. Just 1 gold medal on offer. So Maggie Shulk from France, the favourite for sure in this competition. He's 17. 50% of top, so strong climber. Gets the swing and just does what a few have done and misses that first hold. Maggie, so experienced, has been competing for a long time. A lot of lead competitions recently, he's done them all. Last Boulder competition was the senior comp in Innsbruck, where he came 20th, but 9th in the second Salt Lake City comp and 2nd in the first Salt Lake City senior IFSC comp this year. So he can get medals in senior comps. That's why he's the favourite, and look at that, straight into the undercling. He's done all the World Cups this season, in fact, and made all semi-finals, so true pedigree. Now the rock-up move, but Edvards struggled with Mejdi, making it look a little easier, but having to drop down now. It is a big old physical mantle at this stage. Gets it in, but he's trying a super high heel there. Interesting. First three athletes kind of cruised that move. You thought it was all over at that stage. It turns out it's not done until it's done. Mejdi takes his time. No stranger to these situations, of course. Just brushing the holds, taking his time. Thinks about another brush, decides better of it. One minute 30 on the clock. Time ticking down. He's saving everything for a final couple of attempts here. It took a lot out of him, that physical move. But this is where experience starts to come into play here. He won't be flustered. He'll know what he's got to do. The big swing, the catch. Foot up, minute to go. Up with the left, right, let's do this, Mejdi. The rock up. Trying to find a little bit of purchase on that tiny little runnel dimple on the back of it. Getting closer, drops back down, 40 seconds on the clock. He won't want to do that dyno again. Pressing up now. There it is, the top in sight, and just drops down and loses it. He's got 24 seconds. It's not going to be a lot of time to get this done. He's going to throw himself one more time. He's got a zone, of course, but three athletes ahead of him at the moment with tops. Swing, catch, he's going to drop it. That is not going to be a top for Mejdi. Not a great start for him. He exits looking disappointed. And we move on to Boulder number 2 for the men. Couple of seconds now as we switch to the C-SIT camera. Not the camera operator's fault, it is the platform that we're on. And there is our bouldering wall lit by the lights. Music in the background. Let's watch a replay of Mejdi here. He swings and gets this move beautifully. Look at that. Power and precision. So, Emile Zimmerman comes out onto this slab. Now, I've actually got a route setter standing right next to me. And we were talking about this horrible hold on this boulder. We can't talk to him, but they have set something really savage for the athletes on this one. That little black nubbin there, he just brushed there, to the left of that, has a tiny pinprick of friction on it. It looks big from here, but there's a little tiny dot of friction available on it. And you need to be very, very precise on that one. It's a slab. Three minutes 16 on the clock. And that's that horrible hold I'm talking about. You can get a thumb on it to start with. You then have to rock your way out right. Those red holds are part of a different boulder problem. Slightly foreshortened camera angle, that one. He has to press his way into the corner. There it is. That's this big volume. This is his flash attempt, though. Almost loses the left. Manages to make it work. He's palming his way up the wall. It's all body tension at this stage. He's got the zone. Now that his left foot's on this pinprick. One hesitation will spit him off to the ground, but he's got the left hand on the top. Could this be a flash for Emile? It is going to be a flash for Emile. 2 out of 2 for that man, and a flash. Fantastic work from him. Hannes van Duysen will be next. And we know it's possible. Look at this. Heel on the triangle volume, matches it. Left foot shaking. It's almost like he didn't want to smile. That might have sent him down to the ground. Any movement and he's gone. 2 of our cameramen down in the front. Remember, all pictures from the event, IFSC, Instagram. And there's some beautiful shots coming out this week. IFSC logos and supporters and sponsors adorn the wall at the top. Right, Hannes van Duysen, 16. We know this is flashable. Up he goes. Needs to work his way over. A thumb catch on that black hold. He's got a top so far. Ooh, and just pops off that palm there. It's dual texture, those blue holds. So the blue section has friction. The black, that's shiny, as you can see, reflected by the lights. There's not a lot of purchase on that one. Pressing and reaching around the corner. Oh, look at that move. I don't even know what that is. Upwards undercling. Right, he's more settled now. Now he needs to walk his way up, believing in the power of rubber and friction. Slowly brings the left, pressing. Right hand up to steady himself. Take your time here. This is the horrible hold. Need to be precise on it. Not too much movement, and he's struggling at the moment. There's a little white hold. You can see a screw on to prevent the athletes crimping the edge of that boulder of the volume. Up with the left, one hand away. That's enough. Cracking through this final. Let's see a replay of that final moment. Crimping the top with the left hand just to pull himself up a little more. Creeping, spotting it, grabbing it. Right hand through. Bob's your uncle. Done, mate. Well done. Brushes preparing the ground. Semi-final proved quite difficult for the for all competitors yesterday. We didn't see that many tops, so interesting that we've seen a few in this final so far. Certainly going to be a close fought competition as Hannes van Duysen runs to the stage. He's 16. Currently sitting in third position with his top. A little pop to start, matches that top hole, presses into it. Matches and bumps his hands up. No flash for Torben. Now he's on to the last part of this boulder, that left side pull, and it all becomes easier once you get your feet up and your hands out. Off he goes, leaves the safety of the red volume into the black triangle. Stands on that bad foot, tiptoes out left, almost loses the left, and he's just got to match it, which he does. And these top three, so close, you can hardly call it. 3 out of 3 for the top three. Isaac Leff will be out next. You can see that was the moment he almost lost it. A little foot bobble, balancing. Wait for Isaac Leff. Isaac will be next out. There he is from Team USA. He struggled on that first boulder. Didn't manage to unlock the dynamic sequence at the beginning. He needs to reset his competition now. Needs a top here. You can go. Go! He's 17, currently in 6th, no tops and no zone, so (3 minutes 36 on the clock. Let's see if Isaac can do something here. At least needs a zone in order to stay in contention for a podium place. Underclinging that hold, wrapping his hands around. Not quite sure, is he? Just back and forth a little bit. Pressing, pressing, out he goes into the side pull. He's having to fight. You can see those rubber under his shoes, soft shoes, pressing into the volume. And it's a match. I mean, oh, that's a match. He's going to have to pop out to that, presses into it. What a fight from Isaac. How is he still there? Surely he's going to burn out in a second. No, stands up into the bright palm. Now has a moment to hopefully take the pressure off those fingers. Still he's holding on to that side pull. They'll be screaming at him. Now he goes up. They uncurl in relief. Eyes the top up. Delicately. Moves his way to the left. This has been a boulder of centimetres. And finally he tops out with 2 minutes to go. That was a journey from Isaac Leff, a spirit quest up that slab. Let's watch a replay of that. There were so many almost full moments there. But he did what he needed to do. He did reset his competition with a top. Put that boulder number 1 behind him, moved on. Edvards Grusit is out next.
Right, here he is. Edvard Grusitis running out to the stage. Let's see what his slab climbing is like. Didn't manage to top out Boulder number 1. Bronze medal of his name, though. And another athlete who is regularly on the senior circuit. A lot of taping on the back of his neck there, you can see. Usually a preventative measure for injuries. So no flash for Edvards. Brushes that red volume. Currently sitting in 6th. Of course, that we really get a true indication of the position of the athletes at the end of each boulder. Undercling, then that thumb catch. Stands up, makes it stick this time. I think he's going for this match method, but again, height here, he's got to work his legs right underneath himself in order to get in the correct smearing position for this move. Presses out now, easy from Edvards. Needs to get a toe right on that little dot of friction. And pops up dynamically. That is just going to be a bit too fast for him. I think he needed more of the end of his toe. He needed to be more of a ballerina on that tiny spot of friction there. Just rushed it a little bit. He's got 2 minutes on the clock, though. Plenty of time to tick this off. Welcome to the Climbing Youth World Championships in Russia. A full week of excitement for us. We finish next Monday. And then straight to Slovenia for a Senior World Cup. And then a week off before the World Champs. Packed schedule. Edvards moves up to this final move. Will he do it more slowly this time? Yeah, he crimps the top of that volume. We've seen a few do that. He needs to rock up. Again, just foot bobbles and loses it. Edvards struggling a little bit right now. Sits down away from the crowd to compose his thoughts. Again on the slab, 30 seconds to go. He's going to have to snatch at that hold at this rate. Crosses with the left, crimping, side pulls it and then stands up. The press, 21 seconds on the clock. He's still got time to go slowly. He's going to pop and loses that foot. That is the dot of friction I was talking about. And the problem with a dynamic move is that your weight shifts around a lot on the foot. Edvards will not top. So Maggie Shulk will join us in a second. He also didn't top that first boulder. Maggie comes out onto the stage. 4 minutes will be on the clock. He needs to restart as well. He needs a top here. Gives it a good brush before getting going. He's got two pairs of different shoes here. Softer one on the left. Well, actually, no, softer one on the right, really. With that high angle pro. Interesting how he keeps doing that. Sometimes it can be a little injury thing, or he just feels like he needs a different style of shoe on the left, or he might have a little callus or something that the shoe fits differently. I don't know, but athletes are allowed to do that, of course. 3 minutes 19, just loses that move. I tell you what performance from Emile Zimmerman we watched earlier, flashing that boulder. I mean, that was impressive now. We know how difficult it actually is. Brushes the volume, gets it ready. Maggie needs a top here. We're only Boulder 2. We've had so many tops that it is vital these athletes nail this. So Maggie puzzling this out. So Maggie pulls back on again. 1 minute 40 on the clock. No need to get worried yet, but Maggie gives it a brush. If anyone's watching this and you don't want to hear an English voice, we have actually got a Russian stream up on the IFSC channel as well, so you can hear our the Russian version of me. And they've got two microphones, so you can have two voices speaking to you. Go and check that out. But that's also on YouTube, so you can watch it in Russian. Maggie in 6th position, not having the best start to his competition at the moment. He's got 40 seconds left. Maggie needs to find something special here in order to stay in contention. That is our current leaderboard. 2 out of 2 for the top 3. Maggie currently sitting in 6th, but now he's making progress. 17 seconds to go. He can't rush this move though. 14 seconds. Precision, Maggie. Go up slowly. Up he goes, gets one hand on the final hold. 7 seconds, with 6 seconds to go, he will get the top. And that will do wonders for his confidence and score. He's got a lot of work to go though, but in the last dying seconds of this second boulder, he makes it happen. That is our leaderboard. Emile Zimmerman with that flash, leading the way with 2 tops, 2 zones, and just 6 attempts. Hannes van Dyssen in 2nd, and Torben Petty-Blum in 3rd. Apologies about the shaky camera angle. It's like an earthquake, isn't it? So, Emile Zimmerman in 1st at the moment. 2 boulders to go, and this is, well, it's an interesting first move. It looks, so when I walked up to that boulder, it looked to me like there's a pop up to that jug type hold, that dish thing. But apparently it's more of a static move, so you have to static it with maybe a little pop. That's why I said at the beginning it's like a static dyno, which I might have overhyped, to be honest, but it's not the dyno you think it is. You have to go up slowly to it, otherwise you just barn door off. So let's see what he does. Will he ignore this? Will he go up statically? You can see it looks like you want to pop, but you need to press for it. Ah, but he holds the pop. Route setters, you're wrong. Turns out when you've got tendons of steel, you can make it work. Out to the undercling. Another flash possible here for Emile. Reaches now into the side pull. There's the top, 3 holds to go, but he has to reset himself a little bit. Excitement here in this finals. 2 minutes 40 on the clock, got loads of time, but it's going to be taking it out of him. Catches it, now he's got a pop for this side pull. Somehow he sticks it, he's got a toe hook in on the right, nothing on the left, brings it in, oh, and finally comes down. Drops it from Emile, so close. He was very, very close to getting 2 out of 2 flashes there. That was a moment. Takes a deep breath. The pressure is on that young man, currently sitting in first position with all the tension that brings with it. Two tops, one zone so far, a minute and a half left. This is this move that he made, look. So easy, again, holds it and then drops it. And I think the design beat, it was sort of get 3/4 way there and then a little pop, but that first go from Emile, he just launched at it and somehow held it. My colleague has just pointed out to me the German hair colours. Think of Christoph Helenke. Also in the senior comp with that red hair. Maybe it's a German thing. I'm loving his style. Up to the side pulls once again. This time decides not. Oh, gets the toe hook in now. Sticks the side pull. What can he do? He's got to release that toe. Pops up with the right. What a move. Holds it, pulls up. Emile Zimmerman is on a different level here in Russia. 3 out of 3. The man to beat at the moment. What a move that was. Feet flying out behind him. And there's nothing on that top hold really. It's just, it's almost a sloper. Oh, I like these boulders. This is good. Great final so far. So, Torben Perry Blum, one of the top 3 at the moment. He's got 2 out of 2. Walks around this boulder. You can't see the end of it from the beginning. Just to remind himself what's what. Right, the press and pop. Let's see how he does this. He's going to go for the launch, isn't he? He does. Oh, easy match through. Tell you what, this Youth A male final has some true talent in it. Oh, catches the undercling and bumps up with no feet. Slightly different style there from Emile. This is his flash attempt, remember. If he can get this, he will move up. Gets the side pull, 1 move away from first position. Pop, the catch, the match. And a huge scream to finish things off. Well, we thought Emile's was good. Hannes van Dyssen has just raised the bar again. And he is pumped up, screaming his way off stage. Let's watch a replay of that flash. Steadies himself with that far right toe. And launches out. Sticks it with teeth gritted. That meant a lot to him. I want to go climbing. And if you're watching this and you don't want to go climbing, there is something wrong with you. How inspirational is this? Exciting stuff. Terry van Blom comes out. Brushes the hold. I think I might have said the wrong name just now. Apologies about that. I got overexcited. This is Torben Perry Blom. Goes for the big pop. Oh, again sticks it. Torben Perry Blom goes out to the left. Reaches out and gets the side pull. Flash attempt for him as well, into the final one, and then drops the top. Torben looks up with his hands on the hips and thinks, what do I need to do to flash that thing? So close from him. Arms crossed. He did everything right, let's be honest. He just lost that final move. Let's see a replay of that. Out with the left, crimping. Back down to earth. Unlucky. Good attempt, though, from him. Second attempt comes up, sticks the enormous swing that takes place. Now he knows how to do this move. He'll have made the adjustments, calculations in his head. Different style, no toe hook from him. Out he goes, makes it work this time. Learned from that slip, made it count. Slightly different beater from the athletes so far. Everyone working their own way through it. So Isaac Leff comes back to join us. He's 17. Had an up and down competition so far. Managed to restart things on that slab after a slightly disappointing first boulder. Isaac can't make the first move work. He's currently sitting in 5th position, atop. No zone on the first boulder. The lock off and pop gets it this time. Okay, Isaac needs to move to the left now. This upwards traverse on bad feet, good hands. Heel hook, interesting. Isaac has a style where he sort of tries a lot of things on the boulder. He's got unbelievable endurance. He just can stay there forever as he works it out. Looks for a toe, looks for a second toe, makes the catch. Will he remove the toe before the jump? Thinks better of it. This is what I mean. He's got this style where he just changes his mind mid-boulder. Readjusts, gets it again, still on. Jump, sticks it. Nice one, Isaac. Another top for you. That's going to help. Isaac Leff will leave the stage. Two more athletes to go. Edvards Grusitis and Maggie Shulk will be up next. So, Edvards comes out on the stage. With some replays of Isaac there. Right, Edvards gets us going. Holds the swing nicely. 2 zones out of 2, but no tops for Edvards, currently sitting in last place. He'll want to step it up now, but at this point, with so many tops and flashes, he's going to be in real trouble. He needs to get this done quickly. Interesting toe hook try there. Comes back down. Big move out left, and he's going to move that right back to where it was. No, he's not. He's just going to jump for it. Simple work from Edvards. Easy top from him. He was just tall enough in order to make that move work with that undercling. The other athlete's not quite able to reach it like he did. Let's watch it again. Everyone else had to use the right, but he could have the length to span out and then bring the right through. Foot on to steady himself. Good work. That's what he needed to do. Might have left it a little too late to make a run for the podium. Time will tell. Maggie Shulk. He's coming up. DJ ramping things up. We're dancing here in the commentary box. Maggie, 4 minutes on the clock. Turns his attention to this puzzle piece. Pops up an enormous swing he manages to stick here. Every athlete making that look fairly simple. It's not, trust me, it's miles away. Out left with the undercling, out right with the side pull. Could be a flash from edge deep, he needs it. Are you kidding me? That is outrageous. That's outrageous. There's 2 holds there he's just ignoring. And he almost got it. This is so much fun. Will he stick with that beater? That is an interesting way. 1 top, 2 zones for Maggie in 6th at the moment. Final athlete out. Maggie looking frustrated out there. He has not had the best start to his competition. He was the favourite coming into it. He's picked himself up on that slab too, though. He's got the zone first go and just drops that first move. Maggie having to dig deep here in order to find something. struggling at the moment. He just needs to reset himself a little bit here. Up he pops again and again, drops it. Keeps going though, he got so close. That first attempt, and that's even worse. Mejdi looks like he wants the ground to swallow him at the moment. Just needs to calm himself down, take a moment. And he does now, using his experience. Out he goes, this time making it work, and a little double bump in order to get the match. Right, is he going to try the insane beater we saw? I don't think he is. He's going to go for the higher holds this time. Now he launches, locks it in. Good top for Mejdi. But you can see, disappointed a little bit. Changed his beater up for that second time, up for the final hold. I mean, they're so bad, aren't they? You just need it's more of just steadying yourself before the launch. Okay, final boulder, ladies and gentlemen, of this final. Flown through it. We have the semi-final lead for Youth A and Junior Women coming up after this, about 2 o'clock. I told you we don't stop today. I hope someone's bringing us lunch, otherwise we're going to be very hungry up here in the commentary box. Right, Emile brushes the holds. He has had an incredible final so far. Blazing the trail of flashes and tops at the moment. Comes up into this slab. He's currently in second place. Out into the dish. Look how bad that zone hold is. And now he needs to launch left on it. Oh, we're going to see another flash. He's got heel toe cam locked in. Final top. He's sitting up there at the moment because of that zone. Big move into the undercling. So that is our leaderboard. We can see so many tops. Hannes van Dyssen in second. Torben Perryblom in third. And this man, Emile Zimmerman, with that zone, because obviously no one else has competed yet, into first place. And Maggie Shulk, we just saw with that climb, is in fourth position, and that's not going to be enough. Not with those three tops from the other athletes. It's not going to be a podium for him. But the fight is between those top three. Yeah, he could, sorry, I think I might have overdone that, because he could be, Maggie could still be on the podium. It's going to be difficult for him, but if he gets a flash or a top of this and other people don't, it's possible. So Emile, drops that first hold. Minute 15 to go. This is certainly the most physical boulder out of this set. Route setters thought it's going to be a challenge, especially at the end of three others, and that's the heel toe cam that he'll lock in. Could be a jam, yeah. Let's see some jamming. Out to the flatty. Now bumps left. And that's the heel toe. He locks it in. It's going to feel good, but you need to move on it. Always a bit scary, that. And you can see using it to rest, right hand up. Is he going to go all the way to that top hole or use the undercling underneath? I just can't quite make it work. It's so spread out, and the problem is with that heel toe cam in, you can't really move anymore. And he's going to call it a day. So 3 tops, 1 zone. This could come down to who tops this boulder. So 4 minutes on the clock on his final climb. Let's watch a replay of that, this move. Yeah, he's kind of locked in on that right-hand side, so it's difficult for him to move. And you can see just getting all caught up underneath it, his shin almost preventing him from reaching further. Here we go, Hannes van Dyssen. Up he goes, pressing into that big ball-shaped feature. Ah, what power from him. Knee bar in. This could be first place for him if he manages to get this. And with that zone, he will. There we go, moves up into the first position. Just pops the foot, but that zone flash, if that makes sense, is big for him. What a battle this top 3 has been. He's pulling out the big guns. He's changing shoes. Here we go. He's got everything out. He's just dumped everything. Why not? Throw the kitchen sink at it, son. Get in there. Liquid chalk as well. Lets it dry. Has a quick look at the clock. There's 2 minutes 20 on the clock. So if Hannes can top this on this next go, we're fairly sure he's going to secure first place, statistically, mathematically. So it comes down to this. If he can get a top, but we know how hard it is. Slaps at the side. Oh, going up with the left hand. Interesting. Gets a toe hook, not a heel toe cam. Bumps out left. Nearing the top, now adjusts his feet. Still not with the heel toe. Okay. All to play for then. 1 minute 10 on the clock. This boulder is a big ask at the end of this competition. It's so aggressive, so physical. And that heel toe cam will feel great until you try to move off it. But he's seen that. He's not getting into the trap. Hannes takes a second to look here. Little shout. I love how vocal he is on the mats. Out with the left, matches in. Now, what beater will he use here? Goes for the knee. Interesting. He's getting tired, I think, and that's why he's trying to use many tricks as possible. He's going to call it a day, though. currently in first. He's done all he can do. Where will the positions be when the dust settles on this one? Four athletes to go. Torben Perry Blom will be out next for Germany, and he needs a top here in order to win this competition. It's all down to him. Brushes the holds. Torben Perry Blom. It's all down to him. His destiny in his own hands here. Needs a top. Presses up. Audience, crowd getting behind him. Comes into the side pulls. Looks for a knee bar, can't get it. Heel toe cam decision. He's going to go up with the right, just makes it work. Big slap out with the left. Right, here we go. Has he got the length? Has he got the power? He does. No! But a 720 dismount deserves a victory there. That was so close on his first attempt. Two minutes 42 on the clock. Takes a moment. What an exciting moment that was. The audience as well drops down in intensity, waiting for him to be ready. Checks out the clock, 2:10 on the clock. I think he's going to go for the few goes, high power tactics here. Waits, rests. I wouldn't have the patience, I tell you. I'd have to jump on. But this is why these guys are pros. They know how to time their rest properly. They've trained for this. They've practiced. They'll know exactly when the right moment is to go. Dumps the brush down with intention, 1.5 minutes. He is going to give it everything on this last couple of goes. Comes over, sets himself up, takes a deep breath. Sitting in third at the moment. Oh, but drops it. 1:11 to go. That's okay. He won't have used up too much energy on this. He needs a top and he'll jump up. Bleeding, that's a problem. He's got to cover that blood. He can't be bleeding on the wall. Quickly, hurriedly, straps and tapes on, rubs it on. He's shaking now. Blood in the back of his elbow. Up to the jam, that's where the cut will have happened. Matches underneath and again drops it. 38 seconds to go. He's got to cover it. The judges are telling him. They rush over, strap some more tape onto it. 30 seconds to go. Up he goes, into the jam again. Gets it in better, but again comes down. That tape peeling off all the time, and he's calling it a day. That'll be a bronze medal, so now we know our top three. So close on that first attempt. Drama here in the stadium. We had literal blood, sweat and tears. Don't get to say that often, do you? Unless you're commentating rugby or something else with blood. Awesome scenes. So we watched some replays of those moves. Look at that spinning dismount. And that cut in his hand, you can see he just, yeah, everything went on at the same time. It was so close and he knows it. Look at that. I mean, it's a bronze and an unbelievable performance, but that gold was tantalizingly there. So I think they're just taking a moment to clean some of that blood off the hold, possibly. Yeah, there we go, sterilising it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Blood Cleaning World Championships here in Russia. The judge is doing a fantastic job here. It's a clean sweep, literally, of that. We switch to the door view. Wonderful views. That's the door. We know what's going on. Oh, the carpet. We're moving around now to find our man. There he is. So close. He knows how close that was. Just making sure that the holes are sanitized. How many root setters does it take to clean a hold? There's a joke in there somewhere. So, 3 athletes to go, deciding not the podium places, but where they'll come in this competition. And I want to see someone unlock this boulder. Who'll be able to do it? After this stream, I think we have a slight break. And then at 2 p.m. Russian time, we'll be back with semi-finals. And then later on this evening, another finals. So they've cleaned it, they now chalk it, making sure there's a correct amount of friction on there, so every athlete has the same possibility. Same chance of success. Isaac joins us on the stage. Let's see what he can do. Come back, kid. Let's see if he can send this really physical, powerful boulder. Multiple jams in it. He's sitting in 5th. He'd love to go up to 4th. But Hannes van Dyssen will have won this competition. That jam proving tricky. That's our leaderboard. 3 minutes on the clock. My name is Matt Groom. I'm calling all the action for you today. And I will be all day. We'll move on to semi-finals after this, but Isaac left, makes it work this time. Into the side pulls. Reaches his hand around the corner. Finds that awful dish. Gets a heel toe locked in. Pops out left. One move away. High heel on the left. Oh, what control from Isaac left. Up! Oh, so close. I told you this man had skill. Almost. He's got 2 minutes. He'll take a moment here. Isaac pacing around the mat like a lion caged here. He wants to get back on the wall. He knows he has to rest. One minute 14. He's milking this, taking every opportunity for one last heroic throw at this boulder. Up he goes into the jam, which isn't really a jam. It's more of a, it looks like a jam from that angle. It isn't really. Toes in, into the dish, toe hook, side pull, toe on the big volume, and this high heel. The controlled reach up into the first one, into the top hold. It looks like it should be an undercling, isn't it? He's going on top of it. How you hold that sloper, though, I don't know. One more time, 12 seconds to go. High toes, out left again. Let's see how he can make this work. 6 seconds, 5, 4, clock ticks down, and his competition will be done. Strong showing, though, from Isaac Leff. So we're nearing the end now. 2 athletes to go on this final boulder. Just coming up to 5 to 1 Russian time. Next stream will start at 2 p.m. So, Edvards Grusitis looks up. 3 minutes 44 on the clock. Gets the sloper. Uses a little knee scrub or thinks about it. One top so far, 2 zones for him. That'll be a 3rd zone. Out to the side pull. And now this is really where it's tricky, this final move. And it's looking like he's going to go for the high heel into the undercling easy. But now what? Easy step up into the slope. But now he needs to match it, though. Looking for a knee bar. I think he's going to get it as well, and does. Edvards finally finishes off his competition well. That's moved him right up into 4th position. Maggie Shulk, the only climber who can knock him off that 4th spot. That was the beater. There we go. We've finally pieced it all together. Okay, Maggie Shulk. Last athlete out onto the stage. He'll be looking to improve his score. There is a possible upgrade for him if he can get this done quickly. And we know it's possible now. We've seen the beater, or one of the beaters anyway. He's currently in 6th. Can he improve? Out, as per usual. Fairly simple through this first bit. Gets the knee scrub in. Bumps up left hand to the dish. Interesting. Now he'll look to get the heel toe in, which he does, matches. Majdi going his own way and drops down. I think it's got to be the right. That dish is terrible as it is, and be able to match that. Well, that's some next level ninja climbing stuff. So he's up into 5th, upgraded himself a little bit. Takes his time, rests. Now he's back on. Up he goes. Left, right, snatching at the holds. High toe hook this time, and now he's worked it out better. He's going to go up with the right, which he does. Big swing out left. Look at that, crimping that awful dish. Straight into the left hold. Powerful, quick. Two minutes on the clock. Brings the right in. He's going to look for the knee bar. He gets it. Majdi will top out. And move into 4th position. And that is our final athlete. Hannes van Duysen will walk away with the gold medal. Emile Zimmerman, silver. Torben Perry-Blom in 3rd. What a finish to our final. Results are confirmed. Hannes van Duysen in 1st. Emile Zimmerman 2nd. Torben Perry-Blom in 3rd. Maggie Shulk in 4th. Edvards Gruvsitits in 5th. Isaac Leff in 6th. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will watch the medals being given out, and then we will leave you on this live stream. There's another live stream that will come at 2 p.m. for the semi-finals for the Youth A women and junior women. That will come at 2 p.m. The video is already up, so you can set your notification. Majdi, great performance at the very end. He didn't have the best of finals, but found some magic at the end to top out. The medals are awarded, the glory given. Hannes van Duysen will take gold. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we will see you at 2 p.m. Russian time for the semi-finals for the women. Thank you for listening to me. I'll be back all this afternoon. Join me then. I'll see you soon.